Hi, this is Dr. Tranchitella. I had just done a video on the topic of inflammation where I was talking about how to get things out of our diet and out of our lives that was actually promoting inflammation. So I want to just touch briefly on one thing that we can do to help reduce inflammation by something that we can bring into our lives, and that is the use of healthy fats, and more importantly is omega-3 fatty acids. We know that the essential fatty acids, of which there's omega-3s and there's omega-6 fatty acids, are both essential in our diet. And they're essential because we can't produce them in our body. We have to actually get them through our diet. Omega-6 fats, linoleic acid, is more readily available than the omega-3s. We find a lot of omega-6 fats in vegetable oils. We can convert those omega-6 fats to arachidonic acid via enzymatic conversion, or we can get arachidonic acid directly through the foods that we're eating, mostly animal foods like meats and dairy and eggs. So we can get those fats very readily in our diet. So it's the omega-3s that we really need to pay attention to. And that's why a lot of people supplement with fish oils to make sure that they're getting a good balance of omega-3 fats. And the reason that's important is because when we consume these essential fats, we digest them and break them down into metabolites, or something called eicosanoids. And those eicosanoids are prostaglandins, leukotrienes, thromboxanes, and depending on which fat they come from, they can have a pro-inflammatory or an anti-inflammatory effect. The important thing to consider is that the omega-3 fats and the omega-6 fats, when they're making their metabolic conversions, use the same enzymes. So if we consume a lot of omega-6 fats and not a lot of omega-3s, all of the enzymes are going to help make that conversion of those omega-6 fats down into arachidonic acid and potentially be pro-inflammatory. But if we have enough omega-3s on board, we can make those metabolic conversions of the linolenic acid further down into EPA and DHA, which have the most potent anti-inflammatory effect. And we can introduce those omega-3s to help compete for those enzymes that the omega-6s would use to make more pro-inflammatory products. So this is why it's important to supplement with a really good high quality fish oil, ranging anywhere between 1 to 3 grams a day for just basic maintenance, because it helps to reduce the inflammatory reaction that we might get from eating too many omega-6 fats. Another thing that I found interesting about omega-3 fats is that they also produce something called specialized pro-resolving mediators. And these are chemicals, these are further metabolites that are produced from omega-3s that not only do we know that omega-3s help to reduce an inflammatory reaction, these pro-resolving mediators help to resolve inflammation. So when we have enough omega-3s on board, not only are we reducing that inflammatory reaction, we have the capacity to quickly resolve an inflammatory process. You know, inflammation is normal under certain circumstances. If you're acutely ill or you've injured yourself, it is normal to have an inflammatory reaction. It is not normal for that inflammatory reaction to go on and not be able to resolve. When inflammation goes on for too long, you end up with a lot of tissue damage, a lot of production of reactive oxygen species, and that further creates more damage to the tissue. So essential fats are very important. Having healthy fats in your diet, getting them both in supplement form and through the foods that we eat. We know that omega-3s are found in fatty fish like salmon and herring and mackerel. So those are good sources of EPA and DHA. But linolenic acid can be found in nuts and seeds, things like chia and flax seeds. So incorporating those things into our diet helps to reduce our inflammatory capacity and supports our body's ability to actually resolve inflammation very efficiently. I'm Dr. Tranchitella. Thank you.